Wow, the new Dragonflight title screen! It's so pretty!
Yeah, it is. Although I can't help but feel like there's just something missing.
Oh, I know. It needs a dragon. Like, this is the Dragon Isles expansion. It needs a big-ass dragon to swoop down and land, like in Wrath Arcata.
You are absolutely right, Evie. Stay there. I'm gonna make this happen. Come on!
Tally, is everything all right?
Come on! Oh, hi, Evie. Yeah, it's fine. I was just gonna fly this dragon onto the title screen, but it doesn't want to move for some reason.
Did you collect all your dragon riding glyphs to level it up?
Yeah, of course I did. Also, what are dragon riding glyphs? Where do I find them, and how long will it take?
Yeah, that dragon's not moving, Tally. Sorry.
Don't worry, Evie. I've got an even better idea.
Are you sure this is a good plan, Tally?
Yeah, of course. What better way to fly than in a hopium blimp? Come on up and join me, Evie. The view is amazing.
Aren't hopium blimps kind of dangerous?
Oh God, you don't believe all that nonsense, do you? I mean, it's true that hopium is an incredibly flammable gas, sure. And yes, there have been some truly horrific accidents involving it in the past, but it's perfectly safe collected together and stored in this massive balloon. As long as there are no major disappointments around to get caught on, we'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Tally, look out for the...
Oh no!
Man, this keeps happening.
Knowledge is power.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Reset, Taliesin and Evitel's Wondrous Wisdom Show. In a week where the leaves on the Wandering Ancients have turned orange, autumn is here, and we are officially on the run-in to Dragonflight, which now has a release date! The 28th of November this year. I know. And yeah, it's the same release date from that very believable leak that, to be honest, none of us had any reason to doubt. So it's not a massive surprise to anyone who's been paying attention. But you know what leaked Excel documents don't have, Internet? Absolutely banging release date announcement trailers.
The Dragon Isles have awakened and beckon the Dragonflight's home.
And this is awesome because I feel like up until this point, Dragonflight has been really missing a trailer like this. Usually with a new expansion announcement, we get like the super cinematic CGI trailer and a features trailer that shows a bit of gameplay and zones and transmogs and has an epic voiceover from an important character who will feature heavily, or in Shadowlands' case, Bolvar. And now, finally, Dragonflight's version of this is here. Except kind of better because we're months out from the expansion reveal, which means it doesn't have to bother with a list of features. Battle your way to level 70. Because everyone already knows them, so instead it's just some awesome hype using music from a band that might as well name every track they produce epic hype music for cool trailers, and which, I can't lie, the first time I saw it, gave me a little tingle. And yet fine, I know, whatever. But you know what? I don't care how cynical you are. If you have ever enjoyed or cared about World of Warcraft, then you are going to be excited by this, and you are going to be excited in the couple of months before a new expansion, okay? And that's okay, you know? It is okay to be excited, and it's okay to enjoy being excited. And I'm not going to make any apologies for that, and I'm not going to pretend not to be excited just to look like a cool YouTuber. This shit is exciting, sorry. And don't worry, there's still going to be plenty of time to talk about all the stuff that's bad or wrong or worrying or just not exactly how I want it to be in the coming weeks. And in fact, in this episode, because, and don't tell anyone, okay, but we're going to trot out the trusty old wheel of shit, beta news in a minute and really get into it. But this trailer with a Nosdormu voiceover talking about returning home and keeping an open mind for what is to come and how all that matters is this moment. And yeah, I know that's what he says at the end of the End Time dungeon, and yeah, I know, I'm very worried about him making it out of this expansion alive too. With the dragons swooping merrily around the place and Stony Tony going full on Toy Story when he sees the dragons coming. Alex Straz is coming, everyone, back to your places, hurry. I just want to take a moment to doff my hat to whoever put this together, because you made one of the all-time great Warcraft gameplay trailers. Thank you. I guess the reason I like it so much is that it just perfectly captures that feeling of hope and familiarity that kind of comes before any new expansion really, but that Dragonflight has so far managed to evoke, especially in so many of us, and I'm sure everybody feels the same about that. Too soon, no! Can't wait for another rushed mess with an incoherent story and half-baked player-hostile features. Good looking for a Nintendo 64 game, with or without woke language. Yeah, anyway, so if the seemingly legitimate legitimate leak that predicted the November the 28th date is right about everything, and there's no reason to believe that it won't be, we are looking at an October the 25th pre-patch release date, and that means we are truly into the final straight new expansion fog now, which means I better start making some class guides, but which also means that any day now, maybe a few hours after this video releases, it wouldn't be the first time, we can expect some Warbringers-style animated cinematics to start rolling out, probably telling Dragony-type backstories like the Dawn of the Aspects and the creation of the Drakthir, I'd imagine. And then not long after that, the music will start hitting the beta, and that is something I am incredibly excited about, obviously, because that is when shit starts getting truly real. In fact, news and updates and changes to the beta are coming so thick and fast, it's kind of impossible to keep up. I highly recommend checking the Wowhead links in the description of this video for articles on subjects that may well have changed since the script of this video was written. It's all a little bit overwhelming, to be honest, which is why today I am proud to be enlisting the help of our old faithful friend, the Wheel of Shit. I mean, the Wheel of News, beta news, Wheel of News. So without further ado, let's give it a spin and let the fates decide what the most important news is for us to cover today. The new Threads of Fate system has been implemented into the Dragon Isles, and it's a massive improvement on the Shadowlands system. Because now, instead of having to choose between doing main story quests or a more open sandboxy world quest world tour, it's basically both options by default. When you get to the Dragon Isles on an alt, assuming that you already have a max level character, then world quests are already available, and you can take your pick of zones to do the main story quests in any order you like, and not limited to one at a time. So, just pick them all up. And don't forget that because Ian and Steve were unbelievably telling the truth in that roundtable interview we did with them straight after Dragonflight reveal, your dragon riding is account wide. So the second you set foot off that boat, you can mount up on the Drake and fly off with as many upgrades as you have unlocked on your main. But also, like 95% of renown progress rewards are account wide too. So as I was flying around doing world quests on my alt in testing, there were like loads of explorers backpacks to pick up everywhere because my main had already unlocked that level of renown. My Tuskar fishing points were all present and correct. It was great. One small issue that I did notice was that on my alt, the renown progress for Tuskar and Centaur was locked. I'm guessing that you'll have to do a few campaign quests in the appropriate zones to get those going, which seems a little bit weird and contradictory. But overall, this is unambiguously the most alt-friendly that World of Warcraft has ever been. And not just in an opening patch, but especially in an opening patch. Just being able to soar off on a flying mount straight from the get-go feels like a massive leap forward in itself. I've said it before, but Dragonflight has this really great thing where its vibe is really old school and charming in a way that's reminiscent of like Mists of Pandaria, but there are so many other elements which simultaneously make it feel more modern and fresh than ever too. But yeah, the headline here is, and this is no hyperbole, this is officially the most alt-friendly expansion in WoW history already, and everyone's going to be happy about that. Oh, just get rid of leveling, what a lose of time. Almost everyone. Okay, let's spin the wheel again. New in last week's beta build, the UI editor now has a snap to grid and a line function. And yeah. That's good, thank goodness, yeah. Holy shit, this is going very well, isn't it? We are on an absolute roll with all the good stuff here. Let's spin the wheel again. The way things are going, the next one will be like free money or something. Dragonflight Season 1 begins on December the 13th, meaning that's when Mythic Plus, Ranked PvP, Normal, Heroic, and unusually Mythic Raid difficulties will all go live, with the first wing of LFR, I don't know, like 6 months after that, and then a new wing every 2 years or whatever. But if you're a race to world first loving kind of person, and you thought Sepulchre was a bit weird, with basically none of the top guilds going into Mythic straight away on the day it launched because they were too busy killing the last 3 heroic bosses, then this time, don't be surprised to see world first raiders prioritizing heroic and normal raids before even beginning the Mythic race as they try and bag their sweet, sweet tier sets. Because yes, all of the 2 and 4 set bonuses for every spec have now been revealed by Blizz, and they're actually pretty basic and boring, honestly. Obliterate and Frost Scythe have a 15% chance not to consume Killing Machine. Casting Earth Shock or Earthquake increases your mastery by 10% for 10 seconds. Sudden Death's proc chance is greatly increased. Those were all 4 set bonuses as well. And no one's saying that they're not powerful, but they generally aren't super exciting, are they? And that's not me being mean, that's me basically quoting Blizzard, because that's apparently what they intended. That is not to say that we won't make more complex or rotationally impactful class sets in the future, but you'll find that these bonuses generally take a light touch on features like resource generation and cooldown manipulation. Another goal that came from wanting you all to have a chance to get familiar with Dragonflight's new classes is that we want these class sets to have minimal impact on your talent choice. And yeah, I guess I can understand the reasoning that everyone already has enough on their plate getting to grips with the new talent trees at the beginning of the expansion, and a simplified round of tier set bonuses is specifically trying not to get in the way of that for now. It's a reasoning that met with massive support on the forums, where players were quick to praise Blizzard on their firm decision making and great communication, as well as the fact that there are tier set bonuses in this raid at all, something that hasn't happened in the first raid of an expansion since Mists of Pandaria over a decade ago. So this is unquestionably an upgrade compared to what it was. No, it was a shit show, obviously. These suck, lol. Blizz should be pretty ashamed of this half-assed shit, to be her. So bloody boring and predictable. What in the actual fish is this 4-piece? Rushed expansion is rushed. It's the first time we've had tier set bonuses in the raid since Mists, but anyway, I hope the next subject on the wheel is something that follows on really neatly from this one. Let's give it a spin and hope for the best. Oh, that was lucky. The Inspiration Catalyst, the new name for the Creation Catalyst, which looks certain to be placed on the console in tier hold, and which is the system by which you can convert non-tier Season 1 gear into tier set pieces, a process that Ian Hazzikostas had hinted would be changed in Dragonflight to involve crafters and professions, but which appears to, at this opening stage of the expansion at least, be more a straight recreation of the mostly successful Shadowlands 9.2 version. I say mostly successful because Ian has said himself in interviews since that they regret making the Catalyst take so long to come online in Zereth Mortis, and expressed a desire to speed up the process in its next iteration. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Taliesin, this is the next iteration, so did they speed it up then? We're planning on keeping the unlock cadence the same to start. That is to say, the 6th week after Mythic Raid becomes available in Dragonflight Season 1. No, they didn't! It's the same! They kept it the same! You. I guess you could say it's like a week sooner for Mythic Raiders, but that's only because Mythic Raid opens a week earlier in Season 1 than usual. So yeah, they kept it the same, and that was a shit show, obviously. Holy fish, the devs are so out of touch, it's crazy. Why are they doing this? They never learn. Meet the new Blizz, same as the old Blizz. Love to see how they are slowly trimming features, pushing things back to patch content, and stretching out what they have built so far so they can make their rushed release date. Okay, to be clear on my position here, I consider the Creation Catalyst to be one of the best and most player-friendly additions to the game in, like, forever. Bad luck protection for raiders, which doubles up as a way for non-raiders to get tier through Mythic Plus, PvP, and even open-world content is brilliant. And I had a blast at the end of 9.2, running as many of my orcs through Zereth Mortis, getting double legendaries and 4-set as I could. The Catalyst played a huge part in that, and it was probably the most fun that I had in WoW since the first weeks of that expansion. So I don't want to lose sight of what a great addition the Catalyst is with complaints, but yeah, I think I agreed with Ian more when he said the opening cadence of the Creation Catalyst was probably a bit too long, and I can definitely sympathise with the disappointed sentiments expressed here. But then it is a hard thing to judge and balance. For example, we don't know how drop rates will compare to Shadowlands yet. We don't know if the limit on Catalyst charges will be the same as Shadowlands, and those are both important factors in this conversation, but generally I think most of us would have been happy to see it open up in like week 4 or 5 after Mythic Raid drops. You forgive me for being impatient, you know. I just can't wait to get my hands on the, what was the Discipline Priest 4-set again? Oh yeah, Penance increases your next power word shield by 100%. Can't wait for that. Like, I think we should get the Catalyst on week 1, just so that I don't have to wait for the Penance doing the... No, I've forgotten what it does already, sorry. Let's spin the wheel again and hope for a happier time on the next one, eh? Okay, so I admit I only put this one in because it was getting a bit tense back there, but Watcher Karanos, star of the Dragonflight cinematic trailer, has been given a new voice line in the beta.
Why is it that every time I visit Valdrakken, someone calls me Tony and points out that my body is made of stone?
And why is that cool and important, and especially important to me? Well, in case you missed it, here's a clip from my live stream reaction to the trailer at the reveal.
Light the beacon. Light the beacon, Tony. What's his name? Tony. Yeah, Stony Tony. No, Tony! Don't worry about the beacon, Tony. Just survive. Oh, shit. No, Tony! Expansion ruined. Tony. Oh! Tony! Right!
And look, I am not suggesting for a moment that Blizz added that line knowing that I had coined the name, but you know what? I don't care either way, because this is the closest I will ever get to having an NPC in-game, and if you can't get a Tuskar, then a beautiful stoic sad-faced Toy Story boy is the next best thing. I'm taking it. Stony Tony lives, and he's perfect, and I love him. I would literally kill for you, Stony Tony, and actually, I literally will, because he gives you a quest to go into the Halls of Infusion dungeon and, you know, kill stuff. So I will do that for you, Tony. I'll do the dungeon. Possibly the biggest news of the week is the return to group loot. Not just as an option, but as a mandatory total replacement for personal loot in the new raid. Now, this is a major U-turn in philosophy for Blizzard, with the iconic need and greed roles making a return with it, if slightly modernized. And the thing is, I know you all wanted this because I remember how angry you all were when they took it away. So I know that the forums are going to be a buzz and echoing with joyous singing and laughter. And whoa, someone's wheeled out a piano onto the street and everyone's dancing and there's fireworks and the crowd is chanting, Ian, Ian, Ian. Oh no, it's a shit show, obviously. Are they high? In what world would this work at all in any way? Stop this mess before it's too late. What a horrendous change. This is an absolute trash thing to do. Oh, it turns out that for everyone complaining about personal loot, there was actually someone else who absolutely preferred it to the system it replaced. Damn, I could never have foreseen that. Why did no one foresee that? And the thing is, it's very easy to see why people like personal loot. It takes a certain pressure away from the loot process, which, especially in pugs, is not just nice, but often vital to the functioning of an uneasy alliance between a group of complete strangers, which is only ever one wipe away from complete collapse. And even in our guild raids, I appreciate that personal loot means that I only ever have to get annoyed and resentful at the stupid, idiotically low drop rates, and not my raid leader, who honestly is just trying his best, you know? It's one less thing to worry about, and it's probably better for human relationships, so I can definitely understand people who are personal loot forever. But in my opinion, there is no doubt, overall, as a whole, that the player base is massively in favour of a return to a more manual distribution method. Or at least one that feels more manual. There are some interesting grief minimising updates. Like, you can now only roll for your specific armour type. A warrior can no longer roll on a cloth item just because they can technically equip it. There's also main and off-spec functionality built in, so that a player rolling on a piece for their main spec will get priority over someone rolling for their off-spec, which in turn takes priority over a greed roll. Most importantly though, all trading restrictions have been lifted. So gone are the days where you will not be able to give away a ring just because it's one item level higher than what you already have. And even after winning a roll and receiving the item, that item remains fully tradable until it becomes soulbound, which means raid groups who want to can basically recreate master loot by having all players except the master looter, pretty sure that's the correct term, master looter, pass on an item so that the master looter can distribute it as they see fit. Something which is definitely going to make a lot of people very happy. happy indeed. And I think these are really sensible, good changes. Even if the trading restrictions change is something they could have applied to personal loot with pretty much the exact same effect. There's a part of me that thinks the group loot label and the needing and greeding process is kind of just packaging, you know, a psychological shift as much as anything. But there are definitely differences. The extra efficiency of players supposedly not ending up with loot that someone else could better use is the obvious advantage over personal loot, but that is offset by the fact that as loot is no longer generated specifically for players in the group, there's now a chance that something will drop that is useless to everyone. But yeah, that's just how it goes, Big Nose. Also new for raid loot is the introduction of what are essentially BoE mini bosses, which specific and often really good bind on equip items will drop from, and which you can kill and loot once a week like a standard raid boss, and which replaces BoEs dropping from trash. And I actually really like this idea. I think it's very interesting, especially if, as has happened in previous raids, those mini bosses rotate week by week, or sometimes have their mechanics switched up. I think that would be really cool. I can't think of anything bad to say about it. I'm down.
Hey.
Be quick, Evie, because it's not just us here on the sofa today, is it?
No, yeah, we've got a lovely little baby just down here. We just got back from swimming, which is why I'm all wet.
Oh no, why? Why can't we just have a normal conversation?
You know why I'm excited, Tally?
Well, you can't say that. You can't say you're all wet and then ask me why you're excited. You know what they're like. You know what they're like.
These are two separate
Look,
trains of thought.
make your announcement and then get your actual breast out to feed our baby, okay? Enough of this filth.
We are giving out 5 heroic Dragonflight codes.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's incredible.
Yes, 5 of them.
5? I didn't even know we had that many.
I know.
That's incredible. Thank you, Blizzard.
Thanks, Blizz.
Thank you, Blizzard. But US people, you. No codes for you. Well, look, I can't help it. Don't blame me. Blame Blizzard. They only gave us EU codes, all right? Don't blame me.
Should you be interested in any of these 5 codes, join us tomorrow for a stream.
Yeah, that will be Wednesday stream.
Wednesday stream.
We have to announce this 24 hours in advance, so we'll put it on the Twitter and stuff as well. But also, we know more people watch these videos than watch the Twitter and watch the streams. So if you want a heroic code and you want what'd you get in the heroic code for Dragonflight? I'll tell you what you get. You get Dragonflight. You get early access to the Drakthea in pre-patch.
Nice.
You get like the really cool kind of leafy dragon mount.
Yeah.
Which you can't ride in Dragonlands.
It's fine. Dragonlands.
He's not allowed in.
It's fine.
He's allowed in, but he's not allowed to fly there. Sorry, it's like
yet.
sorry, foresty dragon thing. Yeah. No flying for you, but you can fly him all over Oribos. Oh, you love Oribos. You're gonna have an amazing time.
So much. I'm gonna miss just the circle of running around Oribos.
Look,
so much.
Everyone memes on Oribos and how boring it is, but you forget that after like Zuldazar and well, Zuldazar in particular, but Borealis as well, which Zuldazar was a right pain to get around, and people were begging for something super simple and what have you.
True.
But it's true. After 2 years, no, I hate Oribos. It sucks. I can't wait to
Borealis
be out.
Was the bomb.
It's been a beautiful Dragon Isles. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, riding my mount that can't even fly because I got it with my heroic edition, and so can you. You get a pet and stuff. Don't dream it. Make it happen.
Just make it
Watch the stream. We'll be giving away one every 20 minutes.
Nice.
No mucking around.
No.
Because I see some people, they give them away. They do like one a day or something. I'm like, nah, no.
Boom, boom,
By the time, we put a timer on. Everyone puts their name in the chat.
We
give that stuff away every 20 minutes.
Good.
And then we're
so
done.
excited.
Bish, bash, bosh. I go home. End of stream.
Well, no, actually, because we're going to dinner.
Going to... yes.
I'm getting a steak and oysters.
And that's why we're in a good mood, and that's why you can have them, because we were going to keep them. I was going to keep them, Evie. I was going to keep them. I was like, I could use 5 level 70 boosts or level 60 boosts or whatever it is.
Hold on, we may need to renegotiate this.
Me and an army of like flightless forest dragons just marching around the Dragon Isles. That's what we could have done, but we didn't.
True.
We decided to give these away to you, our community, but only the EU ones. Everyone else, you. So be there at the stream tomorrow. It'll be brilliant. I can't wait. Oh, so nice to have you here, Evitel. Do you know how I'm going to celebrate this brilliant sofa? This amazing sofa section that we've done here.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the thumbnail. Yeah, can you give me some shot? Can you interpret dance this? This changes everything. That's not the one we're going to use, but I love it. It's really good. Thank you, Evitel, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tally, for having me today.
It's a weird time on the channel coming up. As you know, we talked about this last time, but you can see lots of bricks behind me. Those are going up on the wall this week. We're starting our class guides. The wall's getting painted this week or next. We've got paints coming in downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh man, our lives are upside down at the moment.
all over the place.
Dragon Isles is literally my sanctuary at the moment.
Oh.
It's true. I love it. It's so good. It's so beautiful. It's such an amazing zone. Such an incredible expansion. I don't know if it's going to be a good expansion or not, okay? I don't. Because you never know, do you? Until like a year in or whatever, right?
Exactly.
But what I can guarantee you is it's worth a month sub. I can guarantee you sub up for a month, you're going to have an absolutely awesome time.
Sub up.
And it won't cost you anything if you win the heroic giveaway. So
there you
awesome.
go.
Yeah, see you there. Thank you, Penny. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, I know. And thank you for being here. If you like this video, don't thank us. Thank our patrons who give their actual real-life money to make all our videos happen. It's the same coffee that I was drinking in the actual desk bit
I love that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it...
Continuity.
Yeah. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Blizzard EU.
Oh, boo. I mean,
yay.
Thank you for all the codes. Truly.
No, my name is Taliesin from me.
Me, Evitel.
And Penny. And a Nyrin. Where's a Nyrin?
He's at school.
Cheerio.